This is the future.
The challenging times after lunch, when Dr. Shahu told me that it was just after lunch, I said, okay, definitely, I would take it, but it is very difficult for others to come back because the weight has increased. So I have been given, say, 15 minutes. I might take less than that. So, friends and my colleagues and peers here, uh, I have been really, really fortunate to come and speak at VARINDIA programs for the last, say, 3-4 years. Dr. Shahu would tell me correctly. I hope, he might be getting really busy and all of you getting bored to come and hear me. So I'll try to just let you understand something about the state of West Bengal has been doing in the fields of cybersecurity, because all of us here think every state in different perspective, and many a times lot of media reports or personal understanding create perception and notion which might not be correct. So I try to actually sell my state to you, because I really think that there are many, best use cases we have been following and getting benefits of, and you can also go back and replicate. And might change perception and start coming back to West Bengal, all its beautiful places, and think about expanding your own business or work area into a state which has nearly the same population as Bangladesh. So we are having more than 10 crore population, where more than 8 crore people or 8 crore internet connections are there. So you understand, 97% of mobile phones have internet connections. And there are, these are the data of DoT, and there are 33%, more than 33% something, I forgot the actual data. So 1/3 of them are having 2 internet connections, just like me. So redundancy is the call of the day for everyone in West Bengal. And as Bengal is known for its aesthetic, creative, and especially logical thinking, because we are deeply political, we voice our concerns and things very, so everyone thinks that whenever there is a Bengali in the room, he would definitely oppose. And let me tell you, to start, to bring down the temperature inside, because they say you should not drink water after you eat something. Why? Because the temperature goes up. So if you drink water, the temperature goes down, and specifically the rate of your digestion comes down. So in order to just bring down that, let me tell you that in Midnapur, there is a district called Medinipur. In Midnapur, people would come up to you, and if you are a government employee or a government officer, they would say that আমার একটা আপত্তি আছে, that means I have an objection, and you would be very unhappy that anyone coming to you for the first time and is raising an objection. Then he would understand sometime later that it is a petition, not an objection. So with that objection in mind, let me try to sell my state. West Bengal has been actually involved in cybersecurity activities specifically since 2016, when it actually brought out the Cybersecurity Center of Excellence, and in 2017 we set up this Cybersecurity Center of Excellence, the first COE in the country on cybersecurity, looking after 5 verticals. The very first one is awareness and skilling. The second one is cyber assurance. These 2 verticals are incident verticals. If cybersecurity, incident is considered to be a middle line, so these two verticals are before that. So you need awareness, you need skilling, and when you have little bit of both, you need to have a cyber assurance of your ICT infrastructure and applications. So these two verticals are pre-incident verticals. Then there are two post-incident verticals. The third vertical after the first after the incident is called Incident Response and Management, IR and M vertical, under which there is CCMP, Cyber Crisis Management Plan. There is a proper SOC and NOC, looking after all the feeds of networks, staggered, live and everything. And last but not the least, to have your own state CERT. That means Cyber Security Incident Response Team. That is the third vertical. And the fourth vertical is very important. It is to support the law enforcement agency, enabling them in investigation capabilities and providing them with tools and services just like the forensics. So if I talk about the first vertical, thousands and thousands of school teachers, lakhs and lakhs of school students are being regularly trained on cyber security. The first basic training that we give is cyber hygiene practice. Then the second is skilling. And all the skilling certifications are either from, this our own Webel certified or EC Council certified. As I am talking to you, 33,000, girl students of Kolkata schools are being trained by Kolkata Police. It is Rani Lakshmi Bai training program that Kolkata Police is trying to create, because for creating the force, looking up to this any sort of cyberbullying and other things for the students of girl students. So all these 33,000 students will be certified with EC Council certificate. That is the length and breadth I am talking about. Then the cyber assurance, we look after not only the WASA, Web Application Security Assessment of all applications. I was talking to somebody that we have 1,700 plus portals in our data center, a Tier 4 data center. The data center has a disaster recovery center, fully active. And there is a specific, compute as a service data center coming up at Siliguri, which will only have GPU as a service, nothing else. So it will provide all professionals, all teachers, academicians, startups, industry, any support required, just like Param, whatever GPU you want, you can come and take it from us. So for that, you need to have cyber assurance plan. Since 2018, we have a cyber assurance plan looking after WASA and infrastructure security. We have the first fully functional CCMP in the state. We have the first fully functional state CERT in the country. The first CCMP in the country and first state CERT in the country. And not only that, the SOC, we have a SOC since the first day of our data center, but we are coming up with an umbrella SOC for the entire state, looking after live feed as well as staggered feed. So WBCSIIT talking about, Webel is the backbone as the state level, implementing agency and the state level nodal agency for all this infrastructure or all these support services for the state. And there is another small organization called WTL. It provides the manpower and looks after the e-governance for the state. Then there is IRT with CID, West Bengal and Kolkata Police. The beautiful thing in our state is we have the incident response team at every district. A small but effective. Immediately we share with them and we get back the information. Every department has an ISO, an ISTO, Information Security Technical Officer. Who is that? You can find out easily because every department, every organization has SSP, software service provider. Train them, they will become your ISTO. So you need not go back and find out somebody else. So I talked about this cyber crisis management plan, the fully functional Acha, by the way, when I am talking about fully functional, we have a template-based CCMP. So any organization wants to create a CCMP, they can take out the template and get help from the Cybersecurity Center of Excellence, and you have the CCMP ready. Then we have this ISO, ISTO I talked about. State Cert come in 2020, and Cyber Forensic Lab, specifically we created the Cyber Forensic Lab for the state police. Other than the National Forensic Lab, the Cyber Forensic Lab was created by Center of Excellence for the state police, which is expanding like anything. It was a 3,000 square foot, Cyber Forensic Lab. Right now it is becoming 20,000 square feet Cyber Forensic Lab as I am talking to. Just before, coming into this thing, the head of STF called me up and wanted 9,000 square foot of available area to actually set up another lab for them. And all these things are dedicated for not only service level delivery, but also for preventive activities. So we are actually working as a synergy model. I'm talking about this thing. Just see this 80 plus government departments ICT infrastructure audited. What am I talking about this ICT infrastructure? All of you should have loved and clapped. Why? Because it creates lots of business for you. And until and unless infrastructure is audited, the business is not created. Everybody talks about certain guidelines are dedicated towards WASA, compliance, Web Application Security Assessment. It is not audit, it is assessment. So Web Application Security Assessment is the necessity. Twice every year, nobody does. Once every year, most of them tries to, fails. At least once, 2 years, 3 years, they do. But the most important thing is infrastructure audit. Hardly anybody does that. And as soon as we started doing it, we have completed in 80 organizations. And it is not a small, mean task, because every audit from start to completion for a mid-level organization takes nearly 6 weeks, sir. 6 weeks. And as soon as these 6 weeks get completed, immediately demand of skilling, demand of tech refresh, and demand of new infrastructure come up. So actually, by doing this, we are serving to the industry. And that's why when in 2017, no security solution company was available in Kolkata. Right now, go back and see most of the security solution companies are having large setup in Kolkata. So that is the impact that this Center of Excellence and the state government's decision has created. We thought about how to actually, create, technical knowledge. So we understood that whosoever is actually passing out to graduation and post-graduation in cybersecurity is lapped up by MNCs and others. So it is high time we started training people in the polytechnic level. We are the first in the entire country to come up with diploma in cybersecurity in polytechnic. And right now, it is AICTE approved and running in more than 1,000 colleges across the country. And not only that, we thought that it is high time we also started training the physical security guard at our installations. And we have created a vocational course called Cybersecurity Guard. And we are training them in hordes, in thousands. Like you have heard of this NIS, SIS, all these companies, they have signed agreement with a MOU with us, and we are training them with peanuts, very little bit of amount. Weibull is not there to make profit. It is there to add value to the society. And that's why every service that we provide is at a pittance. So the last but not the least, I must tell you that recently we came out with a cybersecurity bus. Cybersecurity bus is a little bit different. It's a Chalta Firta museum and a Chalta Firta training center. So whenever it is going to, मोहल्ले में जा रहे हैं या book fair के बाहर हैं, तो it is actually acting as a museum. And when it is going to any school, college, university, or any club, or any place, Even to the old age home, it is becoming a training center. So skilling, I was talking about 4,000 plus police personnel. There are three, signature courses. The first one is, called as FRT, the first responder training. Second one is called DRT, absolutely for the investigation purpose. And third one is CSOT, the cybersecurity orientation training. 973 newly recruited state police officers are starting to be trained from 17th of this month. So these numbers will tell you that we are doing these things in scale. And this is the list of it. So when we talk about cyber security, we need to talk about scale. If we do not do in scale, you will not leave any imprint on the society, and it will be too late. If we talk shop, it will not serve any purpose. I hope my time is up, and I could bring a little bit of more people than I started. So at least I can clap for myself if you do not. Thank you very much. God bless you.